Magenta table.
Welcome, welcome. Hi.
How are you?
Hey, I'm melting in the heat. Welcome, everyone. I'd like to call to order the Kane County Forest Preserve Finance and Administration Committee meeting of Tuesday, August 27th at approximately 2 a.m. or p.m. Excuse me. We have first the approval of minutes from our July 23rd, 2024 meeting.
How about a roll call?
Oh, roll call. It's not on my
Right.
Do that.
not on my agenda here,
Heat exhaustion.
but we'll have roll call.
Berman,
Berman is here.
Caius,
Vice President.
Allen. She did send an email that she'd be attending remotely, so I don't know if she's on yet. Okay. Gums,
Gums here.
Juby,
Should be here.
Leonard,
Leonard here.
Sanchez, Pepe,
That'd be here.
Williams. You have a quorum?
All right. Now we can have the minutes from July 23rd. Would anybody,
Gums would like to make a unanimous request for unanimous consent to approve the minutes from July 23.
any opposed? Then the minutes will be approved by unanimous consent. Public comments. We have any?
None. Surprise.
Thank you. Bids and proposals? Nothing, new and unfinished business. First item is TMP 24-2805, a resolution approving the Forest Reserve District's holiday schedule for 2025.
Gums will move.
Should be second.
Good jumps, Julie. Discussion.
Okay.
No questions?
That's an unbeatable team, sir.
No, we're good. Let's just go for the vote.
Roll call.
We'll actually need a little direction on this one. We've got Director of Human Resources, Jen Clough, here to present.
All right. Good afternoon.
Going so smooth.
It was indeed. Yeah, I was okay with that. So recently, members of the board had commented on and inquired about the district's holidays, specifically asking how they compared to other public organizations and even private institutions. And the timing of that question was really spot on because early each fall, staff brings a resolution with the next calendar year's holiday schedules before the board for consideration and approval. And I am very well aware that it does not feel like fall today. However, this is the item that we have before you this afternoon. So while staff usually presents this resolution without much fanfare, I am providing a little bit of additional context today. And the reason for that, obviously, is to be responsive to that question from the board about this particular benefit. And we're really aiming today for some perspective and direction from the committee. So the Forest Preserve currently offers and closes its offices in observance of 11 holidays. Those are Exhibit A here in this agenda item. The recently completed compensation and classification study demonstrates that this is the least competitive amongst the district's peers who reported holiday schedules between 11 and 17 days. As we've discussed openly and often recently, the district is competing for talent and we are struggling to retain it when we have it in place. All workers post-COVID and especially some of the newest working generations are seeking employment where work-life balance is valued. As we all know, the district can't offer field employees things like remote work or flexible schedules or job sharing, but it can consider other cost-neutral opportunities to allow workers to be home when it matters most. The data provided from the McGrath report was not surprising to staff. One of the reasons for that is that the Paid Leave for All Workers Act that was codified into state law earlier this year saw other public employers adding paid time off for employees in order to achieve compliance. The district did not need to do so. Instead, it was able to repurpose its personal leave to meet the letter of the law. And that personal leave was originally made available to employees of the district in exchange for 4 previously acknowledged holidays. As you know, the board adopts a holiday schedule for the county that coincides with the Illinois Supreme Court's calendar, which provides for 15 annual closures. To this end, the state, county, and other public organizations in our area recognize 4 holidays that the district currently does not. Those are Lincoln and Washington's birthdays, a spring holiday, and Columbus Day. And the committee may want to consider incorporating these into the district's holiday schedule for consistency and competitiveness. That would equalize both holiday and personal leave offered at both the district and county operations. So this resolution is coming before Finance and Admin and purely in an informational and draft state with a staff request for the committee's opinion and direction prior to preparing a final version for the executive committee to review next week. So again, that draft Exhibit A shows the current holidays along with those that are not offered to the district for discussion. So they're kind of in that light gray there. So again, those are Lincoln's birthday, Washington's birthday, spring holiday, and Columbus Day. And so again, staff is looking for the thoughts and perspective of the committee.
Yes.
Gums, quick question. When you did your analysis, was there any inclusion for the day after Christmas?
Was there any consideration for that? So I know that that's what the county presented for 2025, and I believe that's just because of the way the holiday falls this year. We could certainly consider that adaptation as well. Historically, the district has given eve and day, but I have seen some organizations that have done Thursday and Friday of 2025 just to, I think, kind of extend to that holiday weekend. And I think that's certainly something that might appeal to the workforce.
I think that would be a good addition.
Thursday.
Yeah.
So
So we got 15.
um,
Yes.
so are we talking about adding the Columbus Day, spring holiday, Washington and Lincoln? So I'm good with that.
Correct.
Even if we could just do spring holiday as a half day, if it turns out to be like too big of a deal, but I'm fine with adding all of those extras. Although Lincoln's birthday is in the middle of the week, so that kind of, if we have to kick one out, that would be the one I would kick out, but otherwise, I'm for all of them. Abe would not be angry. Abe would be like, it's Wednesday, no one's gonna come back to work Thursday and Friday.
Any other comments?
Mr. Chair, does this, we talked a little bit about this and I'm not sure I understood when, first time I explained, what's the consequence pay wise?
Right, so we didn't bring this up with the staff recommendation because it seemed like it was all opinions all over with the committee. And then, so it doesn't really affect the pay. It's, it's the same budgeted pay regardless. It's, I guess an argument about productivity, whether or not the workforce is here on those days. I think why this one is timely is because Forest Preserve District acted proactively to develop a personal day program. And now that the state law is caught up with the practice that we already had in place, our employees are essentially losing these days, especially compared to county employees. So that's why we're bringing the question up. But otherwise, last year's holiday schedule was this without those four. So we're just looking to match given the paid leave for all workers act.
Well, my personal opinion is I think it should be the same as the county. That's my personal opinion.
Gums, I still like the idea of adding that Friday, the day after Christmas. It's a year, so we have to do this every year. That's just my opinion.
Just for clarification, is that moving Christmas Eve to day after Christmas, or is that in addition to?
That's in addition
Oh.
to.
So you wanna
Is
swap?
that a motion or? what?
I don't, yeah,
You
I don't
wanna
think-
Swap Lincoln for,
no, I don't want to
After
swap
Christmas?
anything. I want to add it.
Right,
I would
okay.
move to add the day after Christmas as an additional holiday.
To Commissioner Gum's point, this is brought before you on an annual basis. So if there's an interest in that in 2025, just based on the way the dates fall, that can certainly be modified in future years.
second.
Question.
This-
Would that be only for 25? Because it's,
Correct.
okay, I just confirming.
Yeah, that's why I'm comfortable making the motion is because it's literally just 1 year that we're doing it. So if it falls on a Tuesday, next year, it won't be the same conversation.
Yes, Mr. Leonard.
So Ms. Gumbs, are you suggesting that this amendment to this resolution reads, whenever the day after Christmas falls on a Friday, they should get that off, or just this 1 year?
I think just this 1 year, because boards are going to change. So, that's just my personal opinion.
So similarly, this calendar year in 2024, we have Election Day on the schedule, and obviously it's not there in 2025. So again, this comes before you on an annual basis.
That you're talking about staff being here and like, really, what are you going to need to accomplish the day after Christmas? Right? Is that like, I'm just from a practical level, like, not a lot's
Oh,
getting done
like
that
you said.
day.
Yeah.
So,
You know, some like the day after the Super Bowl also.
well,
I think you're in a minority.
Oh, no.
That's a sick.
Oh, no.
I'm just throwing it out there. I think it's a great idea and our employees are amazing, so.
So
You got seconded.
We have a motion and a second
we have a motion to have the day after Christmas.
for
Yeah.
one
Mr.
year.
Chairman? Mr.
Yes,
Chairman
Ms. Allen?
Hi. When we have days off, do we still have people here tending, tending the preserves, but we pay them overtime or time and a half or something like that?
We do, yes, have employees that work on holidays. The preserves are open 365 days a year, and so we do staff them. Our employees receive additional vacation time when they are responsible for working a holiday, so they have the opportunity to take time and a half, the equivalent of vacation or vacation time at the equivalent of time and a half that they earn for working those days. That makes sense.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, I would just add that typically our plow crews and public safety works 365.
All right, so we have a motion to second, and we're talking about the 15 days that we see on the screen, plus the day after Christmas this year.
No, 25.
25,
In
next year.
Next year.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, I'm
This year it's
sorry.
on Wednesday.
Okay,
Roll
roll call, please.
Berman,
Herman, yes.
Allen,
Alan, I.
Gums,
Comes, yes.
Juby,
Juby, I.
Leonard,
Leonard, yes.
Sanchez, Pepe,
Seppi, no.
Williams. I don't know. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
All right.
It's approved.
Item number 2 on our list is TMP 24-2785, a resolution approving a letter of support for the 12-year extension request for the First Street TIF district within the city of St. Charles, Illinois.
Mr. Chair, I
Yes.
would, a point of information, we've asked Miss Allen joined, but I don't know that we did an approval of her to participate. So just to be official,
Also-
Sorry to break in.
I don't know if you want to be
think we're covered
included in the
there.
voting, just.
not
then-
normal, well, not during committees usually.
Okay, it's just making sure since we have a few absent.
No objection here.
No objection.
All set? All right, we have a presentation, David.
Yes,
No.
Sorry.
so Ben and I had met with the city of St. Charles and some of their representatives. They are requesting an extension of 12 years on the First Street TIF district. This is just west of the Fox River along First Street in downtown St. Charles. They had referenced in our conversation that COVID and other impacts to them had delayed some of the developments that they had intended to make. So they are seeking a support from different agencies around the county for a 12-year extension. The impacts to the district here would be approximately $7,975 per year in property taxes that would stay off of the tax rolls coming to the district annually. So in that 12-year period, just about $95,700 would be the financial impact of this. So I'm happy to answer any questions regarding this and give more information if.
Comes, I'll move it.
We have a motion to approve.
I'll-
Second,
I'll move it.
we have a motion comes.
To move it, yeah.
Yes.
I just need a
We have a
second.
motion to
Yeah.
second it.
I'll second.
I have a
it.
question.
So do I.
I
Yes.
don't like what tips.
Are we giving up $95,000?
Yes.
Yep.
Yes.
Yes,
So what if we say no?
they don't, we keep the 95,000.
No.
Where
Well,
do we get the money?
There's
So-
two things they can.
They do have support already from the school district and other agencies, so they're again,
So?
just requesting the
It's
district to also support that.
Mr. Tepe.
How are we giving up money?
So in a TIF district, what happens is those
What do you mean?
property taxes would go towards a development in that specific area. Sometimes it's for blighted communities. I wouldn't say this is necessarily a blighted community, but definitely improvements that they've made downtown St. Charles. Those would go directly towards that development and be held in that until that TIF would expire. And then that falls onto the property tax rolls that would go to county, school districts and all the other taxing bodies.
But when we levy a tax levy, we levy a specific dollar amount. So how would we be getting an additional dollar
We
amount?
wouldn't, we'd be giving up.
We're giving it up.
Correct. So the EAV that we
How would
calculated.
we be giving up?
Because the value of the property has gone up.
But we don't see that.
Actually, we don't get it. It's held down to this. So all we have is down here. So we're missing what it should be, what it could be.
We levy a specific amount and we receive that amount.
That's it.
A TIF district, in this instance, reallocates the fund a different way. But how are we losing money?
It's freezing our, it's freezing our the value at what it was when the TIF started. So when it grows over the 23 years, we don't see that.
Are you saying that we would get more money if we had this TIF district in here? Because I don't think we would.
No,
We get more
lose
money if there was no TIF district.
Yeah,
Now,
we lose money.
Feel the hair on the back of your neck, bro.
So
you see that TIF, the TIF is gone, what, 23 years, is it not?
So it will expire in 2025.
Okay, normally it's 23 years,
right.
Yeah.
It's 25.
23 to, it would be at 35 years if this is approved.
35 years. That's,
It's a long
that
time.
is a really significant amount of time to do an improvement to the downtown of St. Charles. It really is.
You know.
Yeah, I mean, they're doing well, okay, on their
You
own.
know,
Mr. Chair, I have a question.
Gums,
Thank you. So I've been involved in a couple of TIFs and I am lacking so much information as to why they are requesting it. So you stated that they cited that there were delayed, particularly developments because of COVID. So I'm guessing, I would like to assume that we have what those particular developments are. Because just to say, Mother May I doesn't quite work for me. And I need them to explain why they were not able and why they need this, because
But-
I don't see it unless that information is provided. Just asking doesn't do it.
They have offered, sorry. So this came in late last week. We said we bring it before the board. We met with Village Administrator Heather McGuire. They were going to send us a PowerPoint. We didn't get that at this time. So we could invite them to speak at executive if you'd like a more full presentation on.
Yes,
All of
I
No.
just Gums, I would like a
No,
fuller
that's-
presentation, and two, there are hearings that have to happen when we extend a TIF
Yeah.
as well. So that all, all that information has to, I'm not comfortable with this today.
it'd be nice to know how much they actually have gotten over the last 23 years.
3 years.
Uh,
COVID wasn't.
and
Yeah.
what was their original desire?
Right.
And have they improved? Have they increased their project? What they want? Obviously, costs have gone up, but
Right.
it's interesting. Mr. Leonard,
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Yeah, I'm against this at this point for a couple of reasons. Number one, I don't want the Forest Preserve to give up $95,000 over the next 12 years. They've had 23 years to collect their money. Things happen, and I understand that, but I think, we have to take care of the Forest Reserve first before we start helping out municipalities and other entities. So I will be voting no on this.
Same.
any other discussion? David?
Yeah, in regard to the value here, the incremental EAV, they did send some information on that. The incremental EAV for the First Street TIF is just over 5.4 million. The current property tax extension is $498,439 across all agencies. So the district's portion though, yes, would be that 7,900 that we discussed. So if the board is interested, we could have St. Charles come
I don't know.
present this at the next meeting.
Why?
I don't think we're in, it's really,
We could just get the information.
This, as an aside, would this potentially hurt us with our referendum in November? If we say no to them, They're gonna be less
Well, Just
enthusiastic.
talking about Attorney Hodge, they're home rule, and so it sounds like they can move forward on this, regardless of, whether or not we approve it. So it's, yeah.
Protest vote.
I understand.
it-
Yeah, well, I can guarantee you they will, yeah, unfortunately. Okay,
So then there, then there would be no interest. I mean, there really is no reason for them to
Thank
come
you, Brad.
before us then.
Yeah, I think
Call
that's
vote.
anyway.
Yeah.
I've
Oh,
been in that position before. All right,
Al,
any other discussion?
No,
Let's have roll call.
Alan has a question.
Oh, Miss Allen?
yes, thanks, folks. I just don't want us to be short-sighted. We're talking about $9,000 a year. St. Charles is an important city for us. I would love to see their presentation, what they're planning on doing, and maybe why they weren't able to get it done when they thought they could. I just think that we need to give some credit for folks who are trying to do long-range goals. I'm not sure that the money is big enough yearly for us to be effective for something they want to do anyway. And we want to keep the alliances wherever we can, wherever we think it's suitable. So I think we need to know more. Thanks.
Any other discussion? Roll call, please.
Berman,
Berman, no.
Allen,
Alan, I.
Gums,
No.
Juby,
Should we know?
Leonard,
Leonard, no.
Sanchez, Pepe,
Pepe, no.
Williams,
Thank you. Item 3 is TMP 24-2786, a resolution approving the final payoff of the vehicle lease contracts with enterprise entities, ETM, and Enterprise Fleet Management Incorporated, EFM.
Leonard moves.
Gums
Leonard, Julie, David?
Thank you. So the commission had previously approved leases with Enterprise for 9 district vehicles across North, South Operations, and Natural Resources. This was back in July 13th of 2021. At that time, the district thought it was fiscally responsible to pursue a lease program, seeing that there are government incentive discounts between about $1,000 to $2,000 per vehicle. In addition, due to their purchasing power, they had envisioned us being able to turn these vehicles over within a year or two at max and actually see a profit on these vehicles. Due to some issues with the economy, with COVID and sourcing of vehicles, that definitely has not happened the way that we had expected to see that. So we're looking to separate from Enterprise. So we're seeking district commission's approval to move on from Enterprise and instead go through different co-ops. Primarily due to the government incentive no longer being offered on these vehicles. Enterprise also claimed the high purchasing power, but really, in reality, it has not happened. We've had more success with these co-ops. Lack of communication that district staff has had with Enterprise as well. It's really last minute, we find out that they're going to be able to they just cancel the orders on us. In addition, the high interest rates on the vehicles as well. So currently we have about 5.23% and 5.64% on these 9 vehicles through the lease program with them. The latest ones for the public safety department that we put through in 2024, they estimated the rates to be 6.78%. So definitely higher interest rates. On top of that, there's management fees charged by Enterprise. That's usually between $25 to just over $31 per month on each leased vehicle. We've also had some accounting errors and transparency errors with Enterprise. So what we need and our auditors need as far as the new GASBs that are out there for leases, we've had issues trying to get that information from them. They've also inadvertently done a refinancing on some of these vehicles when they shouldn't have, and that just led to a lot of staff time as well, trying to work through those issues and get things back the way that they should be. So as we had talked about through the budget process for this current year's budget, there was an amount budgeted there of $200,000 in fiscal year 25. This is between the North Operations, South Ops, and Natural Resource departments. So this will pay off the existing residual book value on all 9 vehicles. The estimates that came back from them and the final payoff that we can do in September, if this is approved, is a total of $169,080.61. So sufficient funds are budgeted to pay these vehicles off and take ownership of the title on them.
Comes will move.
Juby seconds.
No, Judy, second discussion. Net, did we lose or did we come out ahead on this?
Well,
Whatever.
I think we learned from this that the enterprise program wasn't absolutely what we wanted to.
Good to begin.
Sounded good to begin with. Some economic factors had changed this, but overall, yeah, we were much more happy with our useful life that we had intended for vehicles and working through co-ops instead.
Judy, perfect. Yeah.
Okay, that's not even.
That is true.
Yeah.
Roth, what year vehicles are they? So how many years left do we see left on the vehicles?
I think it was a 2022, I believe. Let me flip to the page here.
2021.
2021, yep.
Okay. So how many years do we see left? I mean,
This is it.
Lots
After
of
this,
years.
we're no longer dealing with enterprise anymore.
not that, but
On the,
you know, are we gonna keep that card?
Oh, typically
20,
10
30?
years before they.
Okay,
come
so-
before you.
Yeah.
yeah, I'm
so
driving
that's
an
a cheap-
07, buddy. Just letting you know.
I think the moral of the story is timing is everything, because we did make some money early on, county especially. Be able to react quickly and get out when we need to.
Mhm.
So way to keep, on top of it.
Well, I guess there aren't really any guarantees in it.
Well, I think we're all holding our breath anyway, weren't we? We're doing, well, can we make money doing this? And it's legal?
Yeah. Legal.
All right, any further discussion? Roll call, please.
Just for clarification, I did have Leonard and Juby already as a first.
Yeah.
one.
That's what I
I
thought.
thought it was.
Sorry.
it's-
My bad.
I just wanted to make sure.
Good call.
Berman,
Berman, yes.
Allen,
I.
Gums,
Gums, yes.
Juby,
Juby, I.
Leonard,
Leonard, yes.
Sanchez, Pepe,
Tippy, yes.
Williams. Approved.
Thank you. Moving on, we'll skip the next one and we'll go to TMP 2817, a resolution authorizing a 1-year extension to the historical structures operating and caretaking agreement with the Preservation Partners of Fox Valley. Do we have a motion? Juby moves,
Gums will second.
second.
Let's hear it.
All right. Good afternoon, everyone. For your consideration is a 1-year extension to the Historic Structures Operating and Caretaking Agreement with Preservation Partners for the management of Fabian Villa, the Japanese Garden at Fabian Forest Preserve, as well as the Durant Peterson House and Scholl School at Leroy Oaks. So Preservation Partners has been with the district since the mid-1990s, managing the Fabian Villa at the Fabian Forest Preserve. And then in 2017, we added the Scholl School. So I apologize. They've been 1990s. They've been Fabian Villa and the Durant Peterson House. And then in 2017, we added the Scholl School to their list of structures. The Historic Structures and Operating and Caretaking Agreement with Preservation Partners expires on August 31st of this year. We're currently requesting a 1-year extension. Typically, we would be coming forward with a 5-year extension. However, we're looking to revisit the management of the Fabian Windmill and roll that into their new agreement. So for this one, we're just looking for a 1-year extension and hoping to have in front of you next year a revised agreement that would include the Fabian Windmill in their management contract. Preservation Partners provides exclusive management, staffing, tours, programs, coordination, and marketing for the Fabian Villa and Durant Peterson and Scholl School. In addition, they've taken over some more tours and some extended time periods for the Japanese garden. So opening up the Japanese garden to more public participation this year. The new contract will increase the payments for Preservation Partners from an annual fee of $95,000 to $115,000. So again, just as a reminder, this is typically a 5-year agreement. The agreement would go through August 31st of 2025. Funds totaling $115,000 were budgeted in the 2024-25 fiscal budget. So sufficient funds totaling $115,000 are currently available in the general fund. 01/11/11/50/20 for this expense totaling $115,000. So at this time, staff is recommending the committee approve a one-year historic structures operating and caretaking agreement with Preservation Partners for the Fabian Villa and the Durant Peterson and Shoal School at Leroy Oaks so that we can re-examine the windmill for the following year.
Any discussion? Mr. Leonard?
Yes, two questions. Number
Mhm.
one, it looks like it's about a 21% increase in cost, which is substantial. And number two, why don't we just renegotiate a 5-year instead of doing the 1 year? My concern is if we do the 1 year, they're going to use the basis of 115
Mhm.
for the renewal for the next 5 years. I think we'd be better using the 95 as a basis for a 5-year agreement. Just a suggestion.
Okay.
Any other discussion? Is that
Uh,
a,
Alan, question?
Ms. Allen? Yes, please.
Wasn't the garden included before, and isn't the garden left out now?
So
Or is the
they've,
garden, I'm sorry, go ahead.
oh no, I'm sorry. They've added some hours to that garden now. So previously they didn't, I don't believe they offered any tours on Saturday. They are starting to pick up some tours on Saturday for us.
So their operating expenses will go up.
Mhm.
Right, and then the other part of the negotiation
21.
is what we were still trying to figure out and see what our fiscal situation looks like after November. Hence the 1 year instead of the 5 year, but we'd ultimately like to get to a 5 year, but the comment is well taken because I think that's likely.
Mhm.
But they've been, so they provided this number just to kind of keep operating as they've been going with some extended hours at
Mhm.
the garden. And a larger number equivalent to hiring a permanent part-time employee to go with the Fabian Garden. And that was not a budgeted expense. This one was budgeted, but the other one was not agreed upon, but just some additional information and it should make your decision here.
Further discussion? Mr.
Do you have any idea how many hours they put in as volunteers to,
They keep
it's
good-
got to be way
They
over
keep
the.
good records. Yeah, it is. We can provide that exec here, but I do think it's still a value compared to having staff this. And it's grown a lot more popular. There was a book that came out 2 years ago on female code breakers, and there was a tie to Fabian, and that's had them like booked up.
Mhm.
And so it's just a strong pull.
They think they're still there?
Codes at
Doing
Fabian.
the code.
I think there's some lore. Yeah.
Any other discussion? Well,
Really quick.
Pardon?
I just have something really quick. This
Okay.
is where I advocate for the pond.
Yeah, that
Okay.
seems appropriate.
So I did get a call from the Geneva Garden Club, who is tending the pond that apparently is leaking and has to be refilled from the river. So just wanted to bring that up, that that's probably going to be an expense that they're going to be asking us for, I would think.
Flex Seal.
What?
I'm sorry.
What?
Flex Seal.
Like,
Well,
steel.
I'm just saying that when we talk about volunteer hours, I mean, the Geneva Garden Club is working and they're not being compensated at all. They're just doing it, so.
Right, and I just add that, so we still maintain the obligation on the capital improvements, and so that the pond liner is failing under the Japanese garden. It's been failing for years, but it's becoming more acute. I don't know, Jeremy, if you want to speak more on it, but we're basically looking, last time it was quoted was about a $300,000 project, but separate from this agreement, but at the same area.
Yeah, so we've done engineering on the loss of water. In drought periods, we're losing almost 2 inches a day. It's a failed clay liner. We've presented a couple different proposals, a couple different options in the past. It's something that is on our radar, and we'll get back in front of you for next budget cycle. This year we were able to get in the Centennial Garden. We started working on that about the same time, so it's definitely on our radar.
Great, thank you.
we're replenishing that now from the river?
From the river.
Correct, yeah.
From the pond scum.
Pump with a 2-inch.
Yeah,
pump
so
out
that's
into the river.
it's city water over there, so our options are either to draft it out of the river or pay City of Water Geneva fees to fill it, and it's about $2,000 to $3,000 a month if we utilize city water.
Well, I would. All right, further
She said
discussion.
there's leeches and snappers in there. I don't know, big enough to have leeches and snap
Roll call, please.
things.
Berman,
Berman, yes.
Allen,
Alan, I.
Gums,
Gums, yes.
Juby,
Should be I.
Leonard,
Leonard, no, I have nothing against our agreement. I just would like to negotiate it a different way, so I'm voting no.
Sanchez, Pepe,
Tippy, yes.
Our
William?
protest vote today. Oh, sorry. Good.
approved.
Wow, Bill, you're such a protester.
I know, terrible. And I-
Well, we need a motion to go into close.
Mr. Chair, Mr. Chair,
Or what?
what about,
We'll discuss that after a closed
No,
session.
You
Ah,
have to say why you're going
thank
into
you.
closed
I
session.
know, I was interrupted.
Oh, I'm
Ms.
sorry.
Juby. You-
Get her, Dale.
By Miss Juby.
Get her, Dale.
No, we're talking about license agreement. So we need a motion to go into closed session to discuss license agreements.
Motion to go into closed
Thank you.
session
Thank
to
you.
discuss license
You better be
agreements.
nice, or you're gonna end up back with the bigger Band-Aid.
Gums will second.
Council second.
I'm just gonna make a motion if I don't know why I can't motion it.
Can we do this with voice?
No,
No,
no.
Roll call,
sorry.
please.
For roll call, Berman,
Berman, yes.
Allen,
Alan, I.
Gums,
Gums, yes.
Juby,
Juby, I.
Leonard,
Leonard, yes.
Sanchez, Pepe,
Tippy, yes.
Williams. It's approved.
Mr.
I'm sorry, I missed 2 seconds. It was Juby and.
I was second.
Leonard did. Back in regular session, I guess roll call would be permissible.
Okay, for attendance, Berman,
Berman's here.
Caius,
Guys present.
Allen,
Alan, present remote.
Gums,
Gums here.
Juby,
Juby here.
Leonard,
Leonard here.
Sanchez, Tepe,
Tippy here.
Williams. Okay, we have a quorum.
Thank you. Now we'll look at TMP 24-2801, a resolution authorizing the third amendment to the license agreement with the Strikers Fox Valley Soccer Club for the use of the district's building on Kirk Road in Geneva, Illinois. Do we have a motion to approve that?
So moved.
Juby,
Gums.
Gums. Discussion.
And this amendment calls for the $5,000 increase?
Yes.
Okay.
It's 15 years, 10 years, excuse me, 10 years and $5,000.
Every
Yeah.
5 years.
Every 5 years.
Do I go back through the presentation again? Or
Roll call.
Oh, we're good.
Roll call, please.
Berman,
Berman, yes.
Allen,
Alan, I.
Gums,
Gums, yes.
Juby,
Juby, I.
Leonard,
Leonard, yes.
Sanchez, Tepe,
Tippy, yes.
Williams. Okay, it's approved.
We appreciate you moving the meeting along.
We should have squeezed enough for more. Give me-
Communication. I don't know now. That's not me.
Hello, everyone. While tree line is out, you can scan the QR code or check copies up at the front. Lots of great programs coming up. The Great Orb Hunt is coming back. It starts September 5th. We've changed it a little bit this year. We've added a site. It will be at Burnage in addition to Leroy Oaks and also at Fine Line. They've added 50 additional orbs, so there's 150 total. And some of the feedback we got last year is people would like to see smaller batches of them released more frequently. So that's what we're going to do. And so staff will be hiding them every other day, it seems like, and Fine Line will pick the off days. So if you're interested, head out to Leroy or Burnage or Fine Line on September 5th. We are planning a photo opportunity for the Carpentersville Dam ribbon tying ceremony. That will be September 4th at 1:30 p.m. You'll all receive a electronic invite. If not today, then first thing tomorrow. And then lastly, the Forest Preserve Foundation golf outing is Thursday, September 12th at 9 o'clock. Thank you to everybody who has donated or sponsored this event, but we could still use more, of course. And if you're interested, you could sponsor online or register a foursome, or you can give me or Dave a check for the foundation. And I think that was it.
People signed up for voucher.
I don't know that off the top of my head. I think we have 17 foursomes.
Oh, great.
I'll have to look.
That's it?
36 would be the max. Not quite.
Did you have foursome?
I'm waiting to hear if we move the judicial committee meeting.
All right.
Lena said she was gonna try to do that, and I have not heard.
Thank you.
She does.
Thank you very much.
I will.
Oh.
I have to find 3 other people that will call.
Don't look at me. I don't golf.
And one more quick one for you under communications. So, you may have remembered talking the last year and a half about this parcel to the northwest. This is the Baranzik or Donahue parcel. Our landscape architect just did it up as a forest preserve because officially it is now forest preserve. So we closed on that Friday afternoon. So I was trying to get, Hodge did about 7 hours of closing with the seller and their
This
co-buyers. So
Friday.
it was
Last-
this last Friday, we just did it. So 300 acre, just under 300 acres there. And so it takes us up to over 28,000 acres in our total holdings. 28,000.
What's our goal again?
No, 20.
World domination.
24.8, Bill.
I was-
Yeah, we did not get 5,000. Yeah.
No, do we have a goal? Ben, do we, seriously, do we have a goal that we're looking for or just?
So.
1 out of every 2 acres. Yeah.
His goal is to put the county.
The statutory max is 50,000.
Noted.
Yep.
We could get that changed.
That's why I said noted.
Is that for every?
Downstate Forest Preserve Act. I don't know what specifics change.
Oh.
Yeah.
Downstate Forest Preserve, we need to work on some things in there.
I need no more work.
Yeah, there's things in there that are.
More for the horses.
Yeah, that'd be great. Let's do more for the horses.
Anything else come before us?
No.
I entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Motion is made and a second by Ms. Gums, and all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? We're out of here.
Thank you all.